What is up, all you cool cats and kittens out there? Welcome, one and all, to No Bucks Given. It is episode 23. I say that with confidence. 23? 23? Thank God, 23. Okay, Jesus. I never get these fucking numbers right. Episode 23 of No Bucks Given, the show where we talk about basically whatever the hell we want. It's a fun little round table of all sorts of discussion about everything in the world, politics, news, and entertainment, and basically whatever the fuck we want to talk about. You guys know me. I am Pierre because my bladder's empty, and welcome to No Bucks Given. It's a small crew, a super small crew, but we're still going to have some fun. We're still going to get some good time here. Of course, I am not alone. Joined with me is the power couple of the Horny Goat channel.
Up in this business.
We got Heather and JP with me this evening. What is up, you cool cats?
We just
seem to be our cholesterol.
Not much. My grandson had his 6th birthday party today, so we went to that.
Nice.
And then my niece Paige, everybody here pretty much knows.
Yep.
Her friend and her graduated, so his graduation party was today, and it just so happens that his grandfather was one of my dad's close friends.
You know everybody in this town, don't you?
Well,
he doesn't live here. He lives in Edgerton.
He lives like an hour and a half away. So my dad worked with this gentleman. It's a small world. That's the same thing we were talking about a couple weeks ago, I think.
Small world, small world, small county. I mean, good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you're gonna find out the person who delivered JP by hand.
I know who delivered me. He was my doctor for many, many years.
See what I mean? What's gonna happen?
So that's what we did today, and we just got home about a half hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
And see the loyal dedication and commitment they have to this channel. And because I might have bribed them a little bit. But welcome everyone. Of course, you're joining us live here on youtube.com/hornygoat. And of course, listening to us on your favorite audio platforms, because of course, you can listen to all the Horny Goat stuff, or at least the audio versions of the stuff, on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio, and even Amazon Music. Yes, you can ask your Echo to ask us to listen to Horny Goat.
From a conehead.
She's standing perfectly still. That's the part that's impressive. Hi, Wendy. I see it. Yeah. What's that on your head? Oh.
A bucket from the Kalahari, which is a water resort up in the Dells.
I just love how she's perfectly. I think she's trying to be one of those British soldiers right outside the palace where they don't move. That's got to be a really fucking hard job to be able to pull that off and not move or anything like that.
Coming up to you and all that. Yep.
Yeah. Of course, all the wonderful Horny Goat members in the chat. We got Alpha, we got Tim, we got Jurgen. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate always hearing you guys' input about everything. Of course, we'll be posting polls throughout the episode in the chat. Of course, Basement and Gina were not able to join us this evening due to, I believe, Gina went go hunting in the safari, and I believe Basement had something to do with an Eskimo Tinder date. I didn't get all the full details, but
He's on a deep, soulful mission to find the deep and butt fuck him.
Yeah. Tomato. It's the same thing. But they will be back, of course, and join us in future installments. Don't you fret. Of course, if you guys haven't checked out the other cool stuff we did, including the Horny Goat GM mode that we've been starting, and of course, the latest episode of the Marvel Roundtable, which was Thor Ragnarok. Make sure you guys check that one out. And of course, this coming Monday, it is the big one. Or one of the big ones is we're going to break down Avengers Infinity War this coming Monday. So that's going to be quite a doozy. I don't know about you guys. I've just been effing exhausted this week. I don't know what it is about this week in general. Hauling up my ass and just everything and everything and anything. So it's just been I don't know about you guys. I've just been fucking drained.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. It hasn't been that bad for us. It's been a usual typical week.
Yeah.
I'm still fighting the arthritis pain, but I pretty much come to grips with it and have accepted it. So I mean, Wendy had that mole thing removed from her leg.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that before. Poor kiddo.
So, I mean, if anything, Wendy's the one that's making us tired. But
That's what kids usually do to you. It's funny. I can't remember if I mentioned this on other streams or not, or if we mentioned this on the Horny Goat stream. So, I went to my doctor I got a new doctor, a PCP 3 months ago, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on here. And he, put me on the diet and the medication, and I've been going and, trying to make myself health better. And he's like, great, everything's going in the right direction, but we noticed that in your blood work, your testosterone levels are a little low. So we're going to prescribe you I guess like a testosterone patch or a gel of some kind, which, I haven't been able to fill the script yet. It's going to take place next week. But now I'm worried I'm going to be like throwing things and yelling at inanimate objects while I have like acne and like hair growing out of every fucking possible orifice of my body. So I'm going to look like a goddamn caveman if I don't already. So that's going to be exciting. It's like puberty 2.0. It's going to be fucking amazing. Yeah, this is going to be great.
yeah,
I don't know how to feel about that.
if it's starting in a couple of weeks, I am gonna be kind of in and out of shows because I will be traveling quite a bit.
That's right. You did travel a lot previously. I remember that. You were like all back and forth. But
Well,
I mean,
the 25th and 26th, I'll be gone. Then I want to say the 14th through the 19th of July, I'll be gone.
yeah.
Well,
And then I'll be that week after. I think I travel to another unit for a weekend.
I just realized I think I know what we need to put on the wall right behind JP. Since he'll be gone and traveling most of the time, it needs to be like a gigantic cardboard cutout of him. That way you are here in spirit all the time. How are you holding up, Heather? I know Wendy's been a handful this week for you.
oh yeah. Rice Krispie treat down the wrong throat. You heard me.
On the wrong throat.
Yeah.
There's multiple throats. Go ahead.
At Thursday, she was over at her friend's most of the day.
Which is actually, I'm just gonna say this now, is kind of good because now she's not. Now Heather and I can actually, well, it's gonna be Heather, but she can actually get to
Right.
organizing around here.
Yeah.
But go ahead, I'm sorry.
And to repay the favor, we had her little friend come over yesterday and trying to see if she'll spend the day.
And now
That's
Wendy.
when Wendy decided that she was going to be a complete fucking drama queen.
And everything was hers.
And nobody else was allowed to touch it.
And now she has a criminal record, right? That's the deal.
No, it didn't get that far. Her friend
Okay,
got
good.
smart and sat there and said, you know what, if this is how you're going to behave, I want to go home.
Yeah, hey, no, that's good. You can just walk across the street.
An hour at least.
Oh no, she was here for pretty much half the day.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're tiring. They can wear you out. Trust me. Well, JP knows.
I know.
We skipped over the terrible twos, and they have now attached themselves to the threes. So
Yeah,
she's throwing
the terrible
every
threes.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Just wait till the sass comes in. That's gonna be the best part. You like, oh, I hope she talks.
It's already there.
It's already there.
Yeah, if I sit there and I say her name when she's doing something, she'll turn around, put her hand on her hip, and boom, put it out and look at me like, what?
Wonder where she gets that from.
Not for me.
I see JP doing that on his hip all the time. So, that being said, I guess we'll just roll right into things. And, I guess we'll start off with something that we all have been watching and do a quick little mini-ish review of the latest episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you guys have been following the latest episodes of No Bucks Given, we have been kind of prefacing it with a mini review and kind of going over it. We did do Heather and Basement did a watch along the first 2 episodes. We did a mini review of episode 3, which was really crazy. And episode 4, it's funny because Basement was like vehemently hating it. And we talked a little bit about this, I think, on the GM mode stream, which you guys go back check out. So episode 4 obviously slowed down a lot. I still enjoyed it, or as JP so eloquently put it, it's filler, but it's not filler for a filler.
It's filler, but it's not filler. But
It actually is.
It actually is filler.
Beautiful. I can't. Good night, everybody. I can't explain it any further than that. That's perfect poetry if I ever heard it.
I was high when we watched it.
Even another 5 minutes, it might kick in.
It's already getting there because I can feel it. But yes, it was filler. It wasn't, but yet it was. So.
I kind of figured with, when it comes to these like Disney Plus shows, Star Wars, Marvel, or otherwise, that have like 6 episodes, obviously you have to put so much into it, and there's going to be, dips and lulls. And considering we're now on the home stretch, we've got 2 episodes left. Episode 5 is going to set the stage for episode 6, almost like what Boba Fett did in terms of like, here's the table being set for like all these, like for the shit to hit the fan. And then the shit hits the fan in the final, at the beginning of the final episode. But I know we talked about this before, where like we were both concerned about them blowing their load basically from episode 3 with the epic confrontation with Vader. But I still think that they're gonna stick the landing to this, and this is still gonna be. I mean, I'm still fucking enjoying the hell out of this.
I am. I did say last week I was disappointed in them doing what they did. In last week's episode, did we get lost in the sauce here? Can you hear me still? Okay, never mind. We're back. But spinning wheel of death happened.
That might have been YouTube.
If anything, episode 3 made episode 4 look like, why in the fuck am I still watching this? Because of what happened in episode 3. And now you have that little bit. Okay, so everything, you kind of need those episodes where they have to let stuff breathe a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's what this episode did. But they let it breathe, and I guess this is where I can agree with Basement. They let it breathe for too long. It moved too slow.
Yeah.
They got to where they wanted to lead into the next episode. But they let it breathe way too long, and I will agree that probably they could have done that stuff in 15 minutes of the movie and moved on to something else.
Yeah. What about you, Heather? What was your takeaway from it?
To me, it basically was the only way they could go about explaining how he got Leia back. There's no real other way to explain it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the concern, but come on, you kind of have to think about this. Dave Filoni's not doing this show. He has input. Now, what I mean by input is, I will tell you right now, because Deborah Chow was also one of the directors for The Mandalorian as well. But Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were like right there, and they were reeling her in. Like, there were some times where she would go off on a tangent a little bit, and Dave Filoni, you could tell, brought her back in. It's like, dude, and that's what Dave Filoni is. Like, he'll let you know, yeah, Obi-Wan did not do this, because for those of you who don't know who Dave Filoni is, and I think we've mentioned this before, he is George Lucas.
Basically,
he is essentially George Lucas's right-hand man on the knowledge of Star Wars or the universe itself.
Right.
So if you wanna bitch about, how Reva is, the way Reva is portrayed, if Dave Filoni didn't think that that's how she should have been portrayed, Dave Filoni would have said something to her.
I can kind of see. Okay.
I'm talking about the director, Deborah Chow. So he would not let her go any further. He would say, you're fucking dumb because you're trying to change how the Star Wars universe is. Dave Filoni is George Lucas.
Yeah, she keeps her in, basically
let stuff happen.
keeps her in the lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's fun.
Again, this is, and I'm sorry, like I said, it's kicking in. Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of those characters. How do I explain this?
We
Sec.
know a lot
He,
about him.
We know
We don't know
we know
much about him.
we know everything about what happens. We know what happens.
right.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of the beloved characters of the Star Wars universe, and everybody was clamoring for this. There's only so much that they can fucking do with this. Now, in relation to episode 4, I think the reason why they're doing this is they're trying to. Well, what happened to Obi-Wan? And I think this is his journey to find himself again
Mm-hmm.
as far as the Force goes and being a Jedi. So if you've noticed, and we'll get into it, a couple of the scenes, you can see him progressively coming out of his shell, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I did see a lot of people not like this episode, which to some extent I understand. Like I said, it's a slower pace one. It does kind of eat up more time, and it's like, okay, stormtroopers are dumb as shit. I think we both can agree about that. They're dumb as shit. We watched it together on Wednesday, and we're like, these guys are so fucking stupid. But
You expect it with the stormtroopers.
I mean, but like, come the fuck on.
Well, I knew you in 4, 5, and 6. They were.
I know.
That's just stupid.
It just fucking.
But
But
stormtroopers are supposed to be one of the most deadly forces within all of the universe, but yet here they are. Just
well,
was it over there? No, it's behind you.
at least the consistency of them not being able to shoot worth of shit and being dumb as rocks is still carried on through, which is great.
You know, it's a running joke though.
Yes.
So that whole the stormtroopers can't hit the broadside of a barn thing.
Yeah.
Is actually a inside joke. It's a hidden joke within the Star Wars universe, because if you go back to episode 4 and Obi-Wan explains, like who did this to this Jawa vehicle, and it was the precise, accurate laser shots from the stormtroopers are the reason why that ship was, and then throughout the entire 4, 5, and 6 series, the stormtroopers could not hit the broadside of they couldn't hit Han Solo, who was only standing 5 feet from him. So that's where that joke stems from. It's funny, but
there was some show I can't remember, or something where I saw them making fun of it, where it's like, here's the target range for a stormtrooper, right? And it's like, all right, you have to hit that, so aim over here. Wait, what do you mean aim over here? Like, you want me to aim 45 degrees or 90 degrees away from the target? Yeah, but I'm trying to aim for that. I know, just aim there. Why? Just do it. Pew! And it blows up. He's like, how the fuck? He goes, because you gotta not aim at the thing. But I think you're right in terms of like the biggest thing that it's showcasing is that it's starting to show a little bit more of Obi-Wan's getting back to his getting familiar with his abilities again. The other part of it is, and I didn't think about this before, was, we talked about before, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but the idea of, we obviously know where shit's going. And I thought about this because right off the bat with this show, it's pretty apparent that not only are the Jedi being hunted, but like Obi-Wan is obviously at the top of the list. So Vader knows he's obviously still alive.
Well, he does. Yeah.
And so it makes me think that the crescendo of season 1, if there is a season 2, will involve some sort of situation in which Vader presumes him dead.
He's gonna have to, because I'm gonna tell you right fucking now, he knows he's alive. And the only way that Darth Vader can disconnect from him,
Yep,
from the disconnect him from the Force or being able to sense him is if he presumes him dead, because he's not going to give a shit about where Obi-Wan is.
Right, because if he's having the entire fucking Empire / Inquisitors hunting him, I mean, he's one Jedi. We see the fucking clone troopers fucking take out a majority of the Jedi. So you can't tell me that, like, I mean, granted, we're downgrading to some of these stormtroopers as we just discussed, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, because when his first mention of Obi-Wan in Episode 4 was like, I haven't sensed a presence since ... And so he's putting together that maybe he is still alive, and so.
I mean, okay, so and then people, well, what about that? Well, in Episode 4, we have to remember they're going through a rebellion, and somebody got on the they got onto the or got pulled onto the Death Star, right?
Yeah, and for those who are listening to us, when we say Episode 4, we're referring to A New Hope.
Yep, and Darth Vader, who is so powerful, like he can force choke a planet. But he then is going. He's getting his Jedi senses or the Force senses going, and then he's delving. So he's it could be Obi-Wan, because I didn't see his body, but I presumed him dead, so I'm going to disconnect from the Force. So, well, that him from the Force or whatever, however they do it.
Yeah, but he's gonna go choke some planets.
He's not going to give a shit because he's presuming him dead, which means he wins.
Right. So that it just made me think of that, because I will say that is one thing that one little part that they had the door left wide open where Vader can go, I haven't sensed a presence since ... and so they could, like, you know, fill in the gap in between with however they ever want to do it. So, excuse me. But I mean, you know, slower paced episode, but I'm still hoping they're gonna stick the landing pretty well. But yeah, I figured if this is the only superhero the season of Obi-Wan, Tim in the chat says there's going to be at least one more battle between Obi-Wan and Vader. I do agree with that. Whether or not it's,
that's why I said, why did they just wait until the end?
I think, well, I mean, I didn't write it. I mean, there's a bunch of ways. I think in some ways it had to happen, or the very least visual confirmation of Obi-Wan to see what Vader looks like and what he's become. You know what I mean? Like, I get maybe not as intense as what we saw with the fight and everything. But
we'll say this right now. I do like, and this is why now that he knows, so he must have been able to sense that Obi-Wan was still alive because he was looking for him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this.
Yep.
Because it kind of plays into it. So here's the thing, and what I really liked about this is, remember after the fight, and he had to get on. I'm trying to remember if I'm jumping ahead or if I'm pretty much at the beginning of the episode here. The part where he's sleeping, and then they keep flashing back and forth between him and Darth Vader.
That was
he's doing the same thing. He's thrashing about in his sleep or whatever.
It's in the healing chamber or whatever the fuck it is.
This is why, and now I can buy. It's they're the reason that they're making this, and the reason that Darth Vader is going after Obi-Wan is because their Force connection is so strong.
Right. Which makes sense. So I mean, you know, I'm enjoying the ride. I'm still enjoying the ride. It is going to be interesting to see how much of this is going to, you know, how they're going to stick the landing if there is going to be a second season. There has been some heavy push from fans and certain writers and directors alike to do a Vader show where it takes place on the rise of the Empire, basically. So pre Obi-Wan, but after Episode 3, where it shows him like climbing the ranks of the Empire, which I'm like, if we see him doing some more Force chokings, I mean, some people might like the Force chokings, but the point is that I mean, that's the other thing too. This show, I don't know about you guys, but this show really reminded me how much of a badass Vader was. Like, really, and you know, I feel like, and granted, it's the limitation, obviously, of the original 3 movies, you know, made in the 70s and stuff.
They have all the technology that they do
Right.
now.
But my
They,
God, this
they want
series really made me like, holy shit, he's a fucking badass.
like for in episode 4, they didn't know what they had until they released this movie,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure this is why Star Wars is so beloved, because it was really only supposed to be episode 4, even though George Lucas, and Tim can prove me wrong on this, but I've heard he was only going to do the first one, and he was just going to call it Star Wars, and that was it. It wasn't going to be never. And I know that they had the scroll, which was a genius move because you just never know. Which also confused me. Like, why are they showing us episode 4 first? And trust me, if you watch Star Wars, you can't what? Well, I gotta watch 1, 2, 3, and then I've gotta watch, or I gotta watch 1 and 2, and then I gotta watch Attack of the Clone Wars series, and then I've gotta watch episode 3, and then I gotta watch Rebels, and then I've gotta watch.
Just like we will do for the Star Wars Roundtable.
I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry. His mind, George Lucas's mind, is like, I'm gonna throw this scroll up here, and he's a genius because by the time when he got to 5, he goes, I know what I need to do with the next 3.
Can you imagine if any movie comes out now that's original? Hard to imagine, but it's like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 4. Well, where's 1 through 3? Don't worry about that right now. Just Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs episode 4. Like it wouldn't. You'd have so many people bitching and moaning and complaining.
Which yes, but you'd be. George Lucas made billions based on.
Oh yeah,
And it's how he did it. It is how he did it. So he threw episode 4 out there, and we're gonna talk. What I'm talking about is Darth Vader's movements in episode 4.
yep.
Read the books, and it'll tell you how. Just watch episodes 1 through 3, and you'll see that Darth Vader. The only reason he was limited was because he got his arms and his legs, or he had one arm.
Yeah, 1 arm and 2 legs gone.
2 legs cut off.
Right.
So he's a robot, essentially.
He's more machine
Yes, he's
now.
going to be
man.
diminished, but he was still a badass because he's so strong in the Force. Go ahead, Connor.
He's so strong to force that thing in there. No, I'm just saying he's more machine now than man. But we don't want to go too much into it, but definitely so far so good. We'll obviously talk about, you know, the last 2 episodes as they come through here, so make sure you guys tune in back. And I did throw a poll in the chat real quick to say what people thought of the episode so far. I mean, so far, everyone's saying so far so good.
So, but I will say this, and this goes into the, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Everybody was probably, another reason why people were probably bitching is because they didn't want to see Darth Vader again. But he's going to not be a regular, but he's going to be one of the characters in the show until the end, so deal with it, everybody.
Well, you kind of need him to be.
Well, that I'm talking about the way people who watch these just don't get it.
No, right. So if you know enough, right, though, you'll know that I mean, I knew just like that. How do I say this? In order for the show to work, even if they didn't announce Hayden Christensen coming back for the role, you kind of figured that that's obviously going to be the pivotal drawing power, right? In terms of like, there's a lot of shit to wrap up between the relationship between these characters between 3 and 4. So even if you didn't do it in the first season, presumably if there's more, you'd have to at least address the elephant in the room. Now, you could obviously do a second season, presumably with Qui-Gon coming back as a Force ghost, and then having to do like a round of training for a season. But you can't sit there and tell me, oh, I don't like the Vader's there. I really don't. I mean, maybe the way he's portrayed.
Without
I think
Vader.
you can't do this story without him. So if you
Yeah.
take him out of this story, then why in the fuck are they even doing this?
Yep, that's my point.
So my thing is to these people that wanted Obi-Wan, what did you want? I think what they are giving is what they should give, because we pretty much know what Obi-Wan does after this happens.
Yep.
We pretty much know what he does in episode 4, because he is in Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon.
Right.
And there is an interaction.
An erection? Oh, an interaction.
An interaction.
Well, both. That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. But no, just on a personal note, I just wanted to throw it out there.
I agree, 100%. You take Darth Vader out of this, why are we even doing this?
But speaking of erections, that's a great segue right there, right? We'll talk about one of the first subjects that we'll talk about. And of course, if you guys are watching us on the YouTube channel and the YouTube video, you can follow along with all the articles listed in the description box below. Let's talk Geico. Specifically, a very interesting lawsuit. And I cannot wait to talk about this.
Hold that thought. You're fine. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You told me to hold that thought and then keep going. Clearly, JP's in a good space. Geico apparently must pay $5.2 million to a woman who got HPV from sex in a man's insured car. You can't make this shit up, folks. Geico must pay a Missouri woman $5.2 million after she caught HPV from unprotected sex with her then boyfriend in his insured automobile, a state appellate court ruled. In an opinion published Tuesday, the Court of Appeals for the Western District of Missouri affirmed the multi-million-dollar payout against the insurance company, best known for its ubiquitous TV ads that frequently feature a talking gecko. The woman, identified in the court papers as M.O., said that she engaged in unprotected sexual activities in insured's vehicle in November-December 2017, and that he negligently caused or contributed to her catching the HPV, a common sexually transmitted infection, court paper says. After Geico turned down her claim, can't imagine why, M.O. took the matter to an arbitrator who found her in favor before a court affirmed the $5.2 million judgment. Geico appealed, claiming it never had a chance to contest the claim, but Geico did have the opportunity to participate and defend its interest, including the ability to challenge liability and damages by entering a defense of insured, according to the appeals court opinion, which put the word "did" in bold italics. Okay, so okay. I'm having a little trouble wrapping my head around this one. So she sued Geico because she got damaged in the car? Is that I don't understand.
That is what she is claiming. She was in the car, she opened her legs and told him to put his dick in raw.
How is that the Geico's fault?
Dumbass, she deserves it. And is now suing Geico because that was the insurance on the vehicle.
Go ahead, JP.
Can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you Google HPV for me?
I was about to say gladly, but I don't think I should do.
Don't we see commercials about parents? They should vaccinate their child from HPV. I have heard in those commercials, and you can correct. This is why I'm having you look it up on Google. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not born with HPV?
It says here that there's no cure for the virus and warts may go away on their own. Treatment focuses on removing the warts. A vaccine that prevents HPV strains most likely to cause genital warts and cervical cancer is recommended for boys and girls.
Everybody gets herpes. You get cold sores on your fucking lips.
I don't know why, just the fact that JP's like, everybody gets herpes.
You do. You get cold sores every now and then. You get those little cold sores.
I don't even fucking care she got HPV. It's the fact that I don't understand how any judge would say, yeah, they owe you 5.2 mil. I don't understand the logical connection there,
The thing is,
or
I
even the
think
illogical one for that matter.
so. My question is, why the fuck is she suing Geico over a dirty car?
It's
It
not.
wasn't off of the car. It was off of the dude she was fucking.
Yep.
But he's suing Geico because he fucked her in his car. What does Geico have?
That was the insurance on the car.
Yep.
So what
That's the
happened?
only reason.
So it was the only reason is that they had sex in the car
Twice.
twice.
Texted.
Yep.
Twice.
3 times would be stupid.
I mean, okay.
Listen,
So
Jurgen, I know you said she's an idiot, but she's an idiot that's $5.2 million richer now. So
he won this case.
she won. Yeah.
He won 5 point. Heather, you gave me HPV. I'm suing you for $5.2 million.
Let me just make sure.
You're suing the state then.
I mean, we can stay together. Okay, but I'm gonna sue you for 5.2 million.
Oh, here. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't read the entire article. My apologies. The company said in a statement Thursday that the case will ultimately settle in federal court. Oh, sorry. I guess I thought I didn't. I guess she didn't win. In federal court papers, Geico has said it never had any responsibility to defend the boyfriend, identified only as MB, because it should be on the hook for only damages coming out of the ownership, maintenance, or use of the automobile. MO's alleged damage have no nexus to the ownership, maintenance, or covered use of the 2014 Hyundai Genesis. So there's the car. The company said in federal court filing last year. In other words, the vehicle's covered use did not cause MO's alleged injuries. Instead, her injuries arose from an intervening cause, namely her failure to prevent transmission of STDs by having unprotected sex.
What's on your table?
Yeah, for a second I thought, although, hold on. It's saying Geico must pay $5.2 million to a woman who got, so hold on. Did she actually win?
Oh my god!
It's not because it said it's still waiting settlement in federal court.
Why? If I'm Geico, I am fighting this tooth and nail.
Okay, could.
Because
I looked at other articles that says could or may, so it's still up in the air. This one says must, so I just made sure.
Clickbait. That's what it is.
Yeah, basically.
I am just yes.
Good job, baby.
Yep. Good job. My daughter's freaking me out again. $5.2 million.
Yep.
You want to sit in my lap?
I don't understand how an insurance company is at fault here.
That's my point. I do not understand how this got this far.
I can understand Geico being liable if they have it on their insurance card and says you cannot have sex in this car. Which no insurance company. If you have sex in this car and you get HPV
Or any other STD.
you're covered under that. Like, who's going to put that in an insurance policy in the first place? Because I mean,
They're gonna have to now if this wins.
So I have Progressive, so I know what I need to ask them upon my renewal.
it like blows my fucking mind that somebody would fucking sue somebody because she got HPV from a guy that owns a car who happens to have Geico insurance.
I'm not surprised that she made the claim. People make stupid claims like all the time, and that's fine. My point is that I can't believe it's getting this fucking far.
Right?
That's my point. Like if she loses, it's understandable because fucking duh. But my point is that like the fact that it's gone that it's going this far, or even if it has gone this far, is fucking mind blowing to me. But keep going. I just gotta get a quick refill.
You can understand her suing him for $5.2 million.
Sue.
But I can't. Why are you? Why? Who? She must be so hard up from. And I don't know what to say to this. And I know I'm stuttering a lot. You can't get more in there.
No, she said shake it up a little more.
Oh. I do not understand. Like I said again, how does the insurance company liable for him having HPV? It's not like.
Does this sound like stereotyping? I have a weird feeling in the back of my head that this woman, like visually in my head, does not have perfect teeth.
No, probably does not.
I
Which
mean,
is probably
Missouri doesn't help either.
the back seat of the fucking car anyway.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Where is this person from?
Missouri.
Well, okay, give me
Yeah.
you gotta give me an area because I know Missouri kind of well.
I don't think the article listed the
It doesn't
specifics.
say.
Yeah, no.
Nope. I can almost guarantee she's and I'm from that around, that's where my family came from. So if I'm shitting on it,
Yeah,
I'm one of them, so it's okay, I guess. if
I
we're gonna
mean,
go there.
you
But-
think of it this way, right? Like, look at like McDonald's got sued years ago because they didn't put that the coffee container in their coffee was hot. I mean, Tim said it best: it's America, you can sue anyone for everything. Fucking Subway just got sued twice because one, their foot long was only yeah.
Who-
Their,
who got sued?
Subway.
Somebody got sued because their bread is not bread.
3 times they got sued. One's because someone claimed that their bread is technically not bread.
How is it not bread?
There's too much. The sugar count in it is too high for it to legally be called bread.
Oh, they're fucking retarded.
Their tuna's not tuna.
Can you imagine that? You can't be called a bread because you're one crystal over. Get the fuck out of here.
Their tuna wasn't tuna, and their foot long was not a foot long. It was 11
Long.
inches.
Oh, good. God. Okay, the foot long thing I can understand.
Yep.
Because it's false in advertising.
The tuna being not being tuna.
What was the tuna fish? Because when I've had it, it tasted like tuna fish.
It may taste like tuna fish, but it was not actual tuna fish. It was another kind of fish.
A dolphin? Because that's fucking funny right there. I don't care what you say. Do you remember all that? The reason that's why people are against nuts in oceans because dolphins are getting into it and the fucking fishermen are selling it off as tuna.
According to a lawsuit, hold on, let me see if I can find this here. Filed in U.S. District Court for District Court of California, the complaint alleges that the ingredients billed as tuna for Subway sandwiches and wraps contain absolutely no tuna.
Does it contain a fish?
We can
Is it
found the
edible?
ingredients were not tuna and not fish.
Well, somebody probably masturbated into that fucking tuna fish.
Was it Sally Magoo?
Probably could have been. We
Yeah,
finger blasted on the street.
she knows all about that.
Right?
But anyway, I think that's just like, I mean, come on at this point, you know.
Oh my god.
But
in the house here.
yeah, I don't get the Geico thing. I mean, if Geico doesn't win this, all I'm gonna say is if Geico doesn't win this, I gotta sue somebody for something because I apparently can get away with fucking anything at this point in
Too
time.
jolly good for only doing cans.
Jesus Christ. Moving on, we got this might be like an abridged episode, obviously, because it's just the 3 of us here. But this next one is a little bit of entertainment news. Actually, this one I'm actually curious to your thoughts on this, JP, and it's not because of the story in the sense of like the movie itself, but more the details around the movie. So, back at the beginning of 2022, Marvel released, or rather Sony released, a Marvel production of the hit vampire movie Morbius. And it did not do good at all. Now, Morbius is not tied into the MCU. It's a separate property that Sony owns, like with Spider-Man, so it's not connected, technically speaking. But anyway.
Sony tried pulling a fast one on people, is what I'm getting.
Sort of ish, but that's not the story. So Morbius did not do that great in the box office. But apparently they decided, fuck it. It apparently there was a couple of memes that caught on about people making fun of it to the point where Sony's like, you know what? We're going to put it back in theaters. I'm not kidding you. They put it back in theaters because they figured, oh, the popularity of people essentially making fun of it for better or for worse would drive people to want to go see the movie. And it, oh my God, the numbers are fucking pitiful.
So this is what it's somebody trying to cash cow on Marvel.
Yep.
And it might be, and Sony, of course, is the one doing it. I get it. He should be dead.
So
Wait, he was dead. Wait, go ahead.
yeah. So according to the article here, it says Sony reissued Jared Leto's Morbius only earned $300,000 in theaters this past weekend. The original release earned $163 million worldwide, including just $74 domestic on a $75 million budget. It then returned to theaters with the lowest per theater average in the top 20. Morbius is a rare movie that essentially bombed twice at the domestic box office. Let me just see here. If it wasn't, well, at the very least, the reissued offer up a new movie amid ridiculously quiet weekend for new releases. Top Gun Maverick accounted for 75% of the entire weekend box office, which I've heard is a phenomenal movie. Partially because there's nothing bigger than that movie. If it's some miracle, the Perpetually Online actually bought tickets to see Morbius in theater. Well, great. If not, well, it's not like Sony spent a fortune advertising the reissue and doesn't change the film's narrative from one of success to one of failure. Moreover, Sony knows that Morbius got miserable reviews and not a great opening weekend. They know that $163 million worldwide from a $75 million budget. With that kind of buzz, is not a franchise born, but at best a bullet dodged. The notion of a standalone Morbius sequel is deader than dead, but since Sony's grand plan is to create their own universe of Spider-Man villains, the character of Dr. Michael Morbius, played by Jared Leto, can still be of value. However, by leaning into the mockery associated with the characters, by essentially throwing themselves on the sword, Sony can use Jared Leto's self-serious living vampire as a comic foil for a later Sony Spider-Man universe movie. So basically, they're trying to take advantage of the internet making fun of it. So I think this is extremely stupid.
I mean, I think Sony's being petty. Get it? But they did this with Star Wars too. People. I think them. What's this narrative? What's the movie narrative? I keep hearing.
It's almost as all over the place as Doctor Strange 2.
But what's their narrative, though?
So the story goes is that there is a doctor named Michael Morbius who has a very rare blood condition or blood disease that's basically killing him, and he's a genius doctor, though. So he tries an experimental procedure that, for TLDR, basically turns him into a vampire. It's not exactly a vampire in the traditional sense, but he has very similar like features and powers and abilities. So and that's basically what he becomes.
No, when I hear narrative, it's like, what agenda are they trying to drive on this movie? That's what I thought that meant, because I heard.
No, I think what they're trying to do is, so the thing is that Sony obviously owns the right to Spider-Man, and they also own the rights to a bunch of different Spider-Man-esque characters, such as Morbius, and Morbius kind of falls into that. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to take advantage of the buzz from the MCU and the Spider-Man movies to try to build their own universe and drive fans their own interest, for better or for worse. And it's funny because
Sony still wants Spider-Man, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then why is that a problem? I don't.
They're trying to like do something away from Marvel Studios.
But can they? They can do that.
They can.
That's what I don't see I honestly don't see the problem with it.
Well, it would be fine if the movie was good.
No, I'm not. I agree. I agree. If the movie is shit, as soon as I seen Marvel, I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna fucking watch this shit. I already hate everything about the fucking shit, apparently, which isn't true. I find so many flaws in this shit. I'm worse than Sheldon Cooper, people. I apologize, okay?
But what's funny you say that, because as soon as numbers came in for numbers for the second release of Morbius came out, miraculously, they announced that coming in September will be Spider-Man No Way Home with extra deleted scenes back in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, if Sony, they can do it. You can tell them they can't. They can't. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, yep. Marvel can sue them if you use Iron Man. Or you can't use Iron Man, but
well, no, it's part of the whole agreement that they had when they did this whole thing. But
so
anyway,
so people are bitching, not Marvel.
No, it's not it's not a matter of bitching. It's just like it's sad because I've never heard of a case like this before. In fact, honestly, I haven't really heard much about this in general where like I've heard of a movie being released in theaters and then there's that time period where like it's not in theaters but it's not available on like VHS back in the day and DVD and all that stuff. And then and I've heard of them re-releasing it for like select minimal screening right before they pull it permanently, but I've never heard of a case like this where like it's available to download and they're putting it back on theaters purposely to take advantage of like basically an internet meme.
Yeah, Sony's dumb.
I just don't get it. I mean, the Spider-Man one makes all the sense in the world because that thing shattered records.
There's no need to re-release it. Well, I mean, they did it with Star Wars. They did it with Jaws.
But there's a purpose behind it, though. I mean, the Star Wars ones, they updated it and
No, the original Star Wars, when it came, they showed it one year, and then it was so freaking popular, they redid it.
Okay, well, right, but that at least that makes sense.
I haven't seen this movie, so I don't know. I mean, I'm never going to see this movie.
Neither am I.
Because I literally do not care.
Yeah.
This character means not. Just like half of the damn Marvel Comics characters mean shit to me. I could look at him and say, "The fuck is this guy? Wolfman Jack?"
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because he doesn't look like a fucking vampire. He looks like a fucking werewolf. Number one.
I just never heard of an instance where a movie tanked. Not even tanked, but just did poorly.
Tanking, yes, but it's what I'm saying. You could see that with Star Wars and Jaws and any other movie re-released as it did so well and people loved it that they want to go sit in the theater again. Get it?
But this
if it tanked, nah.
That's
why?
what the article is about.
No, and I got that. I don't know why you're yelling at me right now.
You're going up on a completely different tangent over this.
I think, yeah. My point of bringing it up is the fact that I'm surprised that they're
the opposite of what they should do. If it was popular, great. Put it out there.
Yeah, Tim, they did re-release Endgame, but that makes sense because like from a business perspective, it drew money. I understand that. This did not, or at least it didn't draw as much as people thought it would. And so realistically, the only reason that they are doing this is because Morbius is becoming a meme on the internet, and it's not a positive one. You know, Endgame shattered record. You know, say what you will about the Marvel movies, Endgame shattered records. Say what you will about the Spider-Man movie, it shattered records. That makes sense to me to at least re-release it. If you told me that Finger Blasting Sally Magoo on HD IMAX was the 4th grossing movie of all time, and rightfully so, then especially the 3D version, you know, I understand that if they re-release it in theaters because people want the theater, but like this is just stupid. This is very, very dumb on Sony's part.
Why would they even? They already had. I wouldn't say they had a loss because they made money off of the movie. Because the only way I hear a movie really tanks is if it doesn't make as much as in the box office, than what it costs to make the movie. So $75 million, and then it was $163 million.
So basically, the general rule of thumb when it comes to movies, from what I remember, is that they want to make 2 times what they spent on it. Because if they break even, it's not really considered a success. If it's double that, then it's considered a success. I mean,
so,
you can wiggle room there.
It cost $75 million to make.
Yep.
But they made $163 million in the box office.
So yes.
So yes, it would.
Sorry. Excuse me. Just domestically. Meaning they ideally want to make that number just domestically. That number was internationally, so global and that. But I mean, either way, it's not like it did horrible numbers. There's been worse, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the reviews and the feedback was not positive, so just I don't know, dumb move on Sony's part.
The feedback and the review, but I think people were the reason some people are shitting on this movie are Oh, this has nothing to do with Iron Man or anything. I don't care.
No, yeah, which probably.
So I think that's part of the reason why people are shitting on it, because they thought, oh, great, another Marvel movie. They're adding on to the universe. No,
Nope.
no. I'm not saying
Nope.
that I'm not saying that Marvel won't do that, but
Go down a whole nother rabbit hole on that one.
yes.
Whole nother rabbit hole. Speaking of long-term franchises that should long be extinct, apparently there's been talk about, we talked about this before with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation, and we, if you want our thoughts on basically the whole outcome of all that, you can go check out our, last week's episode. It kind of covered a majority of all that stuff.
They're both fucking guilty.
They're both crazy. I'll put it that way. But apparently,
they're made for each other. That's all I'm gonna fucking say.
But apparently, with that talk and with that whole court case, it did bring up discussions, and again, I need to stress rumors about the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, because one of the things that was discussed in the talks was that Johnny Depp was supposedly, allegedly, in talks to return one final time for Pirates of the Caribbean. And that now that's completely fallen through. But I guess either way, because Disney owns the damn thing, looks like it's going to happen one way or the other, as there's rumors that Pirates of the Caribbean 6 will be taking place with the rumored Orlando Bloom from the first original trilogy, possibly taking up the mantle as the villain of the whole thing. Did you ever watch the movies, JP? I'll be honest, I only saw the first 3.
Which, the Black Pearl? Is that the first one?
That's the first one.
Okay, I watched that one.
Yep. I only watched the first 3. I'll be very honest.
I was a nice guy, and I can't even remember why I watched the whole thing, but I think it was because I was, doing family time or whatever. I really did not want to finish watching the movie. Johnny Depp is a fucking douchebag to me. I'm not going to go into reasons why. So for everybody defending him, he is a horrible fucking person.
Johnny Depp.
Because he said some things that we have tried destroying other countries over things that he said. And if you don't know what I'm talking about,
Taking a bat.
he was interviewed on a show, or he was doing some improv thing where he was being asked questions, and somebody asked him a question about Donald Trump or whatever. And I'm sorry I'm going there, but I'm going there. This is why I fucking give 2 shits about fucking Johnny Depp. He shouldn't have gotten the money he got. He said, "When's the last time we've assassinated a president?"
Oh.
Really, dude? This guy's not on the FBI watch, and he just made that comment. If I was to make that comment towards, I would probably be on the watch list.
I mean, I'm not sure if that was he's probably being a smartass, I'm sure. But
I'm just saying, I could have been a smartass on here and said that.
I mean, isn't that technically a threat? Isn't threatening the president like a federal?
Yeah, it's a federal offense.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That motherfucker should be that's why I said he should be sitting fucking prison. The court case would be short and sweet. Did you say this? Yes, I did. You're going to fucking jail, fucktard.
Yeah, he's rich. And he's a celebrity. That ain't happening.
And I'm not. Before anybody fucking says a goddamn word about it, I would have said the same thing if they said something about the president today. And y'all know how I fucking feel about him.
Yeah, you love him.
My favorite person in the whole fucking wide world. No. You know what? I don't care. When I hear people talk like that,
yeah,
I'm going to defend. Yeah, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that. But when it comes right down to it, and you're saying shit like that, It's not a good look, dude.
No.
You got me watching you like a fucking.
So that being said,
I'm sorry.
love the Pirates movies.
Here for I just yes, he has his funny moments in the movie. But I just didn't care for the. I'm not one of those guys that cared for pirate movies.
I think the first one, I only saw the first three. I did not see. I remember what the other ones were. Whatever they were, 4 and 5. I can't remember what they actually were.
Sure,
But-
Heather's gonna make me watch them at some point.
I mean, they're not bad. At least the first ones I saw. They're not bad.
I'm not gonna say they're bad. I just didn't care. It did the character. His character doesn't catch me. I'm not a huge fan of Johnny Depp anyway.
I mean, Heather, did you see how many of the Pirates movies have you seen?
All but at World's End.
Is that
was the one with Penelope Cruz?
Might have been.
The
No,
one
no.
with
God damn it.
up and-
Now I have to fucking look it up. Now I have to look it up.
Isn't that the one?
I think so, yes.
The one with the two they're on a fucking island.
Fucking. Okay. So there is.
Clear.
The first one is just Curse of the Black Pearl. The second one is Dead Man's Chest. The third one is At World's End. The fourth one is On Stranger Tides. And the fifth one. Is Dead Man Tell No Tales.
So I seen the fifth one, and that's the one where, I seen that one in the theater. Actually, I think
That one did look promising.
I must have been fucking drunk. That
Well,
wasn't drunk.
Now you can watch the new one high. Isn't that great?
Did you go see the last Harry Potter?
Yeah.
In the theater.
Yes.
So I seen in the theater. I seen the Order of the Phoenix. I took Danielle to my daughter. This is how old Harry Potter is. My daughter was a teenager when I took her. I think she was like 16 or 17, something like that, 14, 15 maybe.
Yeah.
When Order of the Phoenix came out. Yeah. So that's how old them fucking movies are. Danielle is 29, 28. Danielle was 28, so it was 15 years ago.
I mean, I guess the concept or the rumor is that Orlando Bloom would reprise his role as Davy Jones, supposedly, since that's how he ended in the third movie. And
How
you gotta watch him. You gotta watch him. No.
Continue. I'm not gonna. As long as I can skip the parts with Johnny Depp, but you can't.
He's the fucking no, that's not gonna happen. Supposedly he would return as the villain, which, I mean, let me just be very blunt about this. With all feelings about Johnny Depp aside, regardless of how anybody feels about them, it would kill the franchise. Unless you found someone else that was able to not even like replace the character, but you'd have to replace the character and create a more memorable role than Jack Sparrow, which I really doubt you're going to do. And it's not a knock on like any other actor that you throw in there. There's been some great actors in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, specifically Joffrey Rush is phenomenal as the villain. I even liked Bloom.
Maybe tell me good guy later on in the.
He's a tweener.
Yeah. So, but if you don't have Johnny, and again, I'm not saying that you need. I mean, I'm not saying I'm clamoring for another Pirates movie. I'm just saying if you're gonna do another one and he's not there, it's dead in the water.
So I've heard he's gonna finish the story because apparently he wrote the finish to the
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Character of Jack Sparrow. I just want to say this. Y'all do realize that pirates are all fucking bad guys. They're all evil. And you're sitting there rooting for, Jack Sparrow's a fucking idiot for a better lack of the word, and he's a pirate, which makes him a really dumb asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, you're rooting for a bad guy. Which I don't understand. I don't understand it. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Just letting you know. It's
You,
kicked in.
you feeling good?
I'm there. Oh, yeah. I'm there. I'm about to. My eyes are going to be on fucking fire here in a minute, but.
I mean, what do you think, Heather? Any thoughts about
Heather's your Pirates guy, though.
Pirate's girl, technically, but yeah. Who's keeping track?
Let's be politically correct here.
Yeah, whatever. It wouldn't be the same without Johnny Depp, but at the same time, I'd be okay with another Pirates movie. Maybe do a different story. As in, Davy Jones is the main character of this one, and he's going for a different target
Right.
to carry on the Pirates story to build another series off of. I wouldn't mind that.
No, I mean, the only thing, honestly, that I was kind of a little bummed about again, I've only seen the first three, so I've seen bits and pieces of the fifth one, but I haven't seen anything of the fourth or anything long of the fifth. That being said, I think that was one of the things I wish they did more of, or that I got to see more of, was the fallout from what happened with Orlando Bloom's character becoming Davy Jones. Because I'll be honest, that was kind of the stuff I was most interested in. Was oh my god, who the fuck played Davy Jones?
Oh, I don't remember.
You know who I'm talking about though, and he's another phenomenal actor.
There ain't no clowning around.
Oh, it's gonna bug me. Hold on. Just tell you how much we prepare for this show.
It's okay.
Oh, I didn't expect to go into.
I didn't care. I didn't mean, Google.
Bill Nighy, yeah, that gentleman was.
And I could have sworn in the commercial they said that HPV, you're born with it, and whether or not you take the vaccine, that keeps you from chances of you getting it even more.
You can get it, but it's the same thing as any other STD.
If you don't get it, I don't know if I've ever had the shot. I mean, yeah, I get fucking herpes of the mouth. Thanks, Heather. I get herpes of the mouth. I'm kidding. So, I'm sorry. It was.
You feeling good there?
I'm doing lovely.
He's adding on to it by having a beer as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's adding fuel to the fire here.
Oh, it is. He's gonna be face down, ass up, going towards the bedroom and just sleep there all night.
You need to settle down there, sweet tits.
I am. Oh, you're not talking to me. Okay, sorry, my bad. Speaking of sweet tits, let's talk about Britney Spears. So apparently, her wedding got crashed. This was an interesting little tidbit that was thrown to us. I believe Gina. I believe Gina was the one that threw this out there. So let me just pull this up because it's a bit of a doozy story here. So, at 5:20, Britney Spears' attorney Matthew Rosengart told TMZ that he's absolutely livid as Jason, who apparently was Jason Alexander, Britney's ex, tried to crash her wedding and says Alexander needs to be locked up. Her wedding was dramatically interrupted as her first husband, Jason Alexander, showed up trying to crash the event, resulting in a police response. Jason went live on Instagram Thursday as he approached the event security, telling him Britney had invited him and that she was his first and only wife, and he was going to crash the event before some kind of physical struggle. Alexander's phone then froze up. Somehow, he was able to make it inside Britney's home, where he continued to live stream and was eventually restrained outside. We're told the Ventura County Sheriff's Department responded for a trespassing call and were on the scene. Alexander showed public support for Britney during the Free Britney movement, even attended a rally outside of LA courthouse back in August of 2020. They got married in 2004 in the spur of the moment. This is the one that Britney got married and like 2 days later, she fucking got it annulled.
Yeah.
Like way back when.
Between Justin and Federline.
Yeah. So apparently TMZ also learned that Jason's been booked for trespassing, vandalism, 2 batteries, hopefully AA, related to his physical altercations with Britney's security. You right there, Heather?
As soon as you said double A's, I just instantly thought, no, they were D's.
2 Ds. We also told he has felony warrants for larceny in another county, and he remains in custody. So,
God damn. Go ahead.
he's your hero.
No, he's definitely not my fucking hero.
What to say? What the fuck?
This guy gets away with a lot of shit.
Trust me, and this will go right, and this will tie right into the last story I have here as far as celebrity mishaps in a second. But I don't know what else to say. The guy's a fucking moron.
He's obsessed.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think this is more of an obsession thing than it is a disgruntled ex.
Yeah, he wasn't mad at them getting married, but he was just like, stalker. Is a stalker.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? I can't.
It was one of it's like Vegas wedding with
I can't.
Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher.
I feel like I'm about ready to fucking go into that whole fucking giddy teenager fucking fuck this shit. I'd still fuck Britney Spears. I don't care what anybody says.
Oops, he did it again.
I'd pop her.
You know, it's language like that that really makes the panties drop, JP, saying that you'd pop her.
Made her hers fell. I mean, I didn't even have to say anything and I fell.
Folks, kids, if you're watching this, God forbid, and you need romantic advice.
You want some advice? Here's some.
No, I don't want. I don't want to. Do you guys? Did you guys ever used to listen to Dr. Drew's Love Line? Yeah, this is the like the lower. Yeah, this is like the leftovers of that. Like I'm talking.
That's a skit idea for upload.
So, you want some advice? I'll give you some.
I never asked for it, but go ahead.
I'm gonna give it to everybody out there. You want to know how to get a woman?
Hold on. Let me record this. For the love of Christ. Hold on one second. Okay. Go ahead, JP.
You want to know how to get a woman? Do you want
How?
to,
How?
Do you want to know how to get a woman?
How?
Be yourself. Just
Huh.
be yourself.
Actually is good advice.
And masturbate before you go out looking for girls, because one girl fucking finds you interested and she rubs up on you, and next thing you know, you're feeling a little wet in the underwear and you don't know why. Did I just piss my pants, or? And then you go to the bathroom and you got sticky shit all over your fucking hands. Just be yourself and masturbate.
Beautiful. Let's put that on a Hallmark card. Beautiful.
Then my balls, your chin.
I think, I could be wrong here. I think I found the turning point where your gummies kicked in.
You hit that point when you started talking about Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I figured. I thought it was before that.
I mean, it might have, but just before, I'd still fuck Britney Spears though.
I mean, you know what's funny? She did the whole.
Look at that neck muscles. That means she could fucking gobble a cock, and she wouldn't think twice about it. Look at her.
I mean, that's her reaction to seeing me in any sort of intimate form. Let's just see. That's just her meeting me in period. So JP, before I get to the last little tidbit here, you said you had an icebreaker, right?
I have to wait for Heather.
Okay.
She actually put it. I don't talk to me right now.
I was about to say you didn't fucking finish a sentence there. I didn't think it was a period, a comma. You know what you just reminded me of? That fucking kid that you asked him what his dream was about. He's like, you ever have that dream where you did the you and then you wish and then you could and you could do anything. That's you right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see if I can find it here. She put
Okay.
it on a Word doc, and I'd like for here we go. I almost. All right, there we go. So I've got it up, and I can't see you no more. Oh no, my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Don't.
You okay?
I am not doing okay. My computer froze. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
God damn it. All right.
I think Heather needs to hold your hand.
She might need to because I am just all over the fucking place.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Real quick in the chat, Tim said the idea that the pirates of the movie are fighting for freedom while British Empire and the law organization are trying to control people's freedoms. Yes, that's true. Tim, the guy who played the vampire Victor. Yes, that was a great actor in that one. The guy who we're talking about who played Davy Jones. Alpha says, I'd say the hell with locking him up. I'd say check the guy into an insane asylum, referring to the Britney's first husband. Let the doctors do whatever the fuck they want with him. Yeah, this is the dark side of my brain talking. Haha, JP, I wouldn't blame you too. She is hot AF. And yes, that was great, Alpha. I think we're saving that for a short clip because I think that's gonna be we're gonna post it up on the channel separately because that's just gold. Heather, JP is gone. Just absolutely.
Found it.
Okay.
I found it. I pulled it up. All right. So which ones do you want me to?
Whichever one do you want to do? While he's deciding on that, we have a little small half wheel of like Colby Jack cheese. I just found out she's been sneaking into the fridge and taking bites directly.
I was wondering where that was coming from.
The human teeth bites weren't a giveaway.
Christ. She's got a piece of cheese bigger than her fucking head. Okay. We'll do
My own
this
heart.
one.
All right.
So, yeah, I'll ask. I don't know. I'll ask. I'll pick 5 questions, and we'll answer them.
All right, and you guys in the chat can also participate too. We'll read you guys' answers.
Let's go to each because I think there's like. So, let me see.
Your reading glasses are right over there.
No, this is more fun watching him go.
I'm still gonna do that.
Now it looks like you're sniffing a fart. Timed that great.
60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s? Which decade do you love the most and why?
90s. 90s.
Why? No, but why?
Because that's the decade I grew up in.
I'm gonna say the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the decade that my very first decade. I was 8 when 1980 started. Was it? No, I was 7.
Now's not the time to do math, JP.
I was 7 decades
Right.
started.
Okay. Yeah. So same idea. Yeah. So it's
the AIDS epidemic when that hit. I remember when that hit. That was so fucking great. Everybody's like, I got AIDS.
now it's COVID.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
90s for me.
Yep, 80s for me just because, well, I love the music of the 80s. And I used to love music a lot. I just don't care about music anymore.
I mean, I'm not saying that 90s is better. I'm just saying that's my personal favorite.
I graduated in the 90s.
Yep.
And the 90s were pretty all right. I didn't like our president for most of the 90s, but that's just a whole nother issue.
Oh yeah. What about you, Heather? What'd you say yours was?
60s for the cars.
60s for the cars.
Oh, good point. Alpha says, I'd say the 90s too, just because I was born in the early portion and grew up in that decade. Yeah, I'm 87, so I was so 90s was like my like core childhood of like, you know, from basically 3 to 13. So you know, all like the toys, the shows, the influences. I mean, I hit a good chunk of stuff. That's why I'm such a big Power Rangers fan, is because that was my shit back then. TV was better, everything was better. At least for me back then. Alpha says he was born in 92, so yeah, kind of same idea.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, is that what happened? Yeah, I guess it is pretty hot. Yeah, I know. You're so weird. Yeah, you are. What?
The apple doesn't fall far, there, JP.
Talking to me. So, what's your best scar story?
Okay, so those of you can't see this on the video or the audio version. I'm putting my hand up to the camera right now, and it might be hard to see with the way that my camera and the lighting is at, but let me see if I can get a good zoom in. Come on, work with me here. You might see it, but there's like a bubble here on my thumb. It's kind of hard to see because the way it's angled. There we go. That's a little bit better. It almost looks like a heart. Well, that's because I slipped my entire thumb open, or that part of my thumb open. I used to work for Lindt Chocolates, the little chocolate truffle company, and I was the store manager for an outlet store. And the outlet store was an old converted dress barn, which is like a regional clothing store company. So it was an older store, and the counter at the cash register was all glass.
Right.
And what happened was I got frustrated one day, and I was hitting the glass in frustration, and sure enough, my hand went right through it and sliced the skin off the thumb.
All right. Awesome. Mine's my finger right here. It's my index finger.
Yep.
Can't really see it, but right where my fingernail is, right in between the first knuckle.
Yep.
I cut my finger washing dishes. I was like 10. In fact, it was my 10th birthday. And mom said, it's your turn to do the dishes, because my mom made us do chores. And I was bitching about how I hate doing the dishes. And right when I said that, I was washing a glass, and it sliced my finger. So I didn't have to wash dishes no more, because you're never washing dishes. Every time you wash the dishes, you break something. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but I will find out. And then when I do, I will kill you. But she ended up telling me I couldn't wash dishes anymore because of every time I would.
So, I mean, you got out of the dishwashing, which is great. The weird thing for my scar is that the skin was hanging off of the thumb. Like, it looked like it was like almost like I thought they were gonna cut the thing off, and they're like, no, we're gonna keep it. I'm like, why? And then I'm like, all right, they're gonna sew it back together. Nope, used fucking glue. And I'm like, I don't understand why.
Glue works the best. Mine, covered by that star tattoo right there. And that was from bringing the dogs in from outside. Our basement stairs decided at that very moment, as the dogs went up, as soon as I put my foot down on to go up, bottom step slid out. And I almost went through the landing of the stairs between the back door and the rest of the basement.
Ooh, shit.
Sliced a good bit of skin off of the side of the leg and punctured the back of my thigh on the same leg.
Ugh. Good God.
And that was with a 90-pound Malamute Husky mix staring down at me like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, I love those dogs. Tim said his best Scar story for me was he was umpiring a baseball game and made a call to end the game, and the head coach for losing team was pissed, so he yells, "Hey, Blue," to me. I turn and see the metal bat he threw at me, which hit me just above my left eye. The only reason I didn't get arrested for assault was because the coach got arrested by an off-duty cop, had to go to court and testify, however. Holy fucking shit. Alpha says he got two indentions type spots above his right eyebrow on his forehead that look like holes, but they're not. I always think it looks like somebody stabbed me with a fork. Oof.
Yep.
Now I got all my piercing scars too.
All right. So
yeah.
next. Let me see. If you could choose any two famous people to have dinner with, who would they be?
Ooh. Alive or dead? Does it
I would
matter?
say, I would imagine either.
If you could. So take that as mine would be Robin Yount and Bart Starr. Just because I love what both of them have done for the game that they play. Yeah.
George Carlin
Yes.
and Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, now I could say that, but
I would normally say Paul Heyman because I idolize him, but I feel like Paul, I would just kind of be more of a fanboy than anything else than actually having a conversation. Whereas Vince, I'd like to have like a conversation and pick his brain.
I just would love to pick his brain for just 5 minutes.
Yeah. That Pat McAfee interview he did was
fucking brilliant. Yeah.
good stuff. What about you? What about you, Heather?
Would probably be Robin Williams and Madeline Kahn.
It's funny. Williams popped in my head. I was gonna say Williams and George Carlin, but I'm like, I can't.
Too.
Fucking tough. Alpha's still trying to figure his out.
Yeah, I would love to go with Robin Williams and Madeline Kahn because
Wendy.
what do you want?
Tim said Charlie Sheen and Jack Nicholson. Ooh, Jack Nicholson.
God, that would be an insane dinner.
The Nicholson one's a good call. Actually, they both are, but the Nicholson one, that's a good one.
Keep going. Keep going. How about a would you rather icebreaker question?
Okay.
I already know the answer to half of these for Gina.
Oh, Tim says, or Charlie Sheen and George Lucas. Hey.
Rather.
Stop being gross.
Never.
Would you rather give up your smartphone or your computer?
Take my phone.
Yeah, take the phone away.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Jurgen said his choices for his two people to have dinner with would be Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee.
I can't disagree with Bruce Lee, but fuck Chuck Norris. Bruce Lee kicked Chuck Norris's ass. So, I scroll down one more.
Maybe Paul Arzola. What's up, Paul? Says maybe George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola or
Coppola.
Coppola, excuse me. And everyone else is saying, yeah, phone. Get rid of the fucking phone. Yeah, because
I agree. That one was kind of easy. Oh.
Starting to smell colors, JP.
Okay, here's one. Would you rather lose all of your money or all of your pictures?
I heard of all the money.
I don't have much money.
I'm not
so
losing any pictures of her.
I don't really have much money, so Easy pick on that one. Like, do I really lose out on the 30 cents that's in my bank account? Or...
Imagine you do have money. You lose it all?
Yeah. Because I can get it back.
Out pictures. Yes, everybody says, well, whatever, whatnot, but pictures,
I can get those back. I can get the money back.
Yeah.
I can't get the photos back.
There you go. Good answer. Good you get. I think that's pretty much it. We'll have more because there was a couple of them that I could turn funny, but I'd have to look at them.
No worries. No worries about that one, Alpha. It's a tough answer. But Alpha, Jurgen, and Paul all said money as well as far as the last question. So the last little tidbit here is another one of wonderful celebrity bullshit, and this, of course, refers to everyone's favorite person, Ezra fucking Miller.
I really wanted to talk about it.
You did or did not?
I did.
Okay. So we've talked about Ezra Miller before. Those of you who don't know, he's the one who plays Flash in the most recent Justice League movie and will be the lead in the upcoming Flash movie that I think has been pushed now to the beginning of next year, that everyone's got their eyes on. However, there's been a lot of controversy with him lately because he's been doing a lot of not so fantastic behavior PR-wise that has made Warner Brothers kind of question his future in the franchise. But apparently, there's another bit of a bombshell that just dropped when it comes to Ezra Miller. I can't even fucking talk. Ezra Miller is, so this is coming from TMZ. Ezra Miller is not only a bad influence, they're a danger to the well-being of an 8-year-old woman, at least according to her parents, who are asking a court to help step in and keep the actor away from her. According to legal notes obtained by TMZ, Dakota Iron Eyes, weird name, met a then 23-year-old Miller in 2016 when she was just 12, and the actor was visiting the Standing Rock Reservation of Dakota. From there, Dakota's parents say she and Ezra developed a friendship, but they believe Tokata is the name, Tokata at Risk. Tokata's parents say Miller flew her to London in 2017 to visit the studio where Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Him was filmed, as she was a big fan and Miller was a star in the movie. At the time of the trip, they say Tokata was 14 and Ezra was 25. As the friendship continued, her parents claimed Ezra supplied the underage daughter with alcohol, marijuana, and LSD. Not only that, they claim Ezra, best known as the Flash, disrupted her schoolings at a private institute in Massachusetts so much that she dropped out in December of 2021. The parents said they flew to Miller's Vermont home in January to get their daughter and discovered she didn't have her driver's license, car keys, bank card, and other items to navigate life independently. They said they also found bruises on her body, which they allege Ezra caused. Shortly after she got home, the parents said she flew to NYC to reunite with him, and from there, the pair has been traveling together to Vermont, Hawaii, Los Angeles, spotting a club in Hawaii, obtained in video by TMZ. Of course, we're talking about the time he got arrested in those bars several times. But in the documents, her parents state that Ezra uses violence, intimidation, threat of violence, fear, paranoia, delusions, and drugs to hold sway over a young adolescent's Tokata, as they claim Ezra told Tokata to solely go by Gibson, a nickname she formerly used with friends and family. Then there's this. They say that Ezra decided Tokata is a non-binary transgender when she had previously declared herself as non-binary queer gay. Apparently, it seems that Tokata is aware of her parents' concerns. She recently took to social media to say she is mentally stable and her comrade Ezra has been a help in her life. She also says she's recently got a therapist, looking forward to the future. The parents are asking for the court to step in and issue an order of protection against Ezra on behalf of their daughter, and a hearing is set for next month. TMZ did attempt to reach out to Ezra's team. So far, no word back yet. Apparently, Truck, I think, mentioned to this right before we hopped on here that they did attempt to kind of go after him, and I don't know if it was arrest or whatever, but he's on the run. They don't know where he is right now, so yeesh.
As I said,
Go ahead.
As I said, the first time something came out about them, he should not be representing WB, DC, or the Flash anymore.
Can't disagree with that.
This. Again.
You right there?
I'm fine.
I'm just going to say this. This guy does this, and everybody's beloved. Like, there's no clamor. I know WB is clamoring for him. But Amber Heard accuses Johnny Depp of assaulting her, and it comes out that she shit on his bed for $12 million, Alex. We're not canceling Ezra Miller. We're going to be okay with Ezra Miller doing this.
Well, for now.
Where is cancel culture for him as compared to Amber Heard?
I think it's coming.
Different. This to me is no different than Amber Heard shitting on Johnny Depp's bed. Hey, do you see what I mean? What is the one thing that everybody fucking remembers from the Amber Heard court case? That she shit on Johnny Depp's bed.
Yep.
Nobody gives a shit that that she punched Johnny Depp, not hit him, whatever. Ezra Miller is doing this weird, crazy shit, like some sort of cult fucking thing. Mm-hmm. That's what I got out of this. Comrade,
he's
fucked up.
Yeah, I think he's clearly manipulating her one way or the other. But
he's telling her what she can and cannot say.
I'll tell you what. Like, it's one thing to do the not so great looking getting arrested in the bar and all that shit. Like that's one thing. This is a whole different can of worms.
Yeah, did I give you back her pappy in the car?
Yes.
Okay.
She's had it here since.
Man, Hollywood's fucked up, man.
Yep, the world's fucked up.
What the fuck is going on? There was a story of a lovely lady. I'm sorry. It just popped in my head. So, sorry, man. I had to do that. No, it's an actual story of what the fuck was it? I know it was something. It was something in here in No Bucks Given. I know I just seen it. Bear with me, people.
Bearing with you.
What was that story? The fuck, man?
About a lovely lady.
About a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. Can't fucking remember, man. What the fuck am I doing? The fuck am I doing? There we go. Oh, there was a story. Help me out here.
I don't know if we can.
You want to ask the R. Kelly story?
The R. Kelly story? What was the R. Kelly story? Because that might be it.
He was holding girls captive.
Well, everybody knows that and peeing on them. I get that.
Drip on you, piss, piss, piss.
I can't remember what it was, but it was a legit story. It wasn't trying to be funny.
About cancel culture stuff?
Yeah. No, not so much cancel culture, but it was an actor sued somebody else. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's never going to come out because I'm fucking high. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now.
You're talking about Kevin Spacey, who sued his accuser?
Kevin Spacey was accused of being...
Yeah, and he sued them.
And he sued them.
I might... It's okay.
Is it?
I cannot...
Is it okay?
It's going to keep me up at night, but I'm sure... I don't know if I seen it in a chat or somewhere, but it's related to this situation, kind of. And I can't remember what it was. It's okay, though. So now I'm trying to find my place.
You were talking about Amber Heard.
Yeah.
All that drama for Johnny Depp.
And
because of cancel culture.
The cancel culture is a problem with our society today. Now, Ezra Miller, give a shit about whether or not he's a Flash or not? No, because the Flash to me throughout the whole of the DC has been a side character, a sideshow, so to speak. He was there for the quick one-liners in DC Comics. I mean, Jason Momoa, I could buy his antics in the movie because he's one of the big stars of the movie. Ezra Miller, I could give a shit about. I'm sure they could find another fucking Flash.
Oh, they will.
have another Flash.
Yeah, they're the one that plays in the TV show. The only thing I'm gonna say is that like the embarrassing antics that he has in the bar is one thing. That's a bad PR look. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
You want to throw the question of whether or not he should be represented. It's probably like, yeah, it doesn't look good on him or WB, but it can be somewhat passable. This is not the case.
He is kidnapping and embedding, is what he.
Yeah, that is. I mean, even if he's found innocent to some extent, the whole thing does not look good at all.
The kid's creepy anyway, to me.
Yeah. So it's just like
he seemed like an awkward fucking Flash in the first movie. I'm
not a fan of him.
Not me neither. Again, he's insignificant to me. He's just a big star because of his name, I guess.
Well,
I mean, I'm not going to say he's a bad actor, but the first time I seen him was in Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. He didn't do too bad in that. He didn't have to say much, but he didn't do too bad in that. So I don't know. Ezra Miller, who cares? Ozzy Osbourne could fucking play Flash, and I'd probably be more into it.
You fucking run around, shout out! I can't fucking run. Where are my shoes?
We're gonna roll. We can walk like no tomorrow. I know it sounds like
British. Just gonna go and run around in a circle. Whoosh.
Right?
It's all the heads of bats off.
Right. I got an agenda. Cozy sent me an agenda for tomorrow.
Okay.
I ain't doing shit. I need to wash my clothes, but that's about it. Yeah. Ezra Miller, he's a pedophile. I mean, am I wrong?
Just not good scene. I think that's it. I think that's all the points I had here, unless there's anything else you wanted to bring up.
There's so much that I could bring up. I'm so high right now that I shouldn't say high. I said I'm feeling so good that I could probably talk about anything. Like, there's so much going on in the world today.
Yeah.
That, my God, people just breathe. I'm trying to just breathe. So I get mad at sports, right?
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I get really mad. I am trying.
First I've heard of it. But go ahead.
I did it last night, and I think I might have to do it every time I watch the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a game last night, and I got so annoyed, and I just turned the channel. I said, Wendy, let's watch YouTube. So we watched YouTube videos all night last night. And I'll tell you what, it was so good. With the world today, man, I wish to God people would just get along. I mean, when did we become the society that everybody looks to us as a country?
Selfish.
Right, but everybody looks at us as a country and thinks we have it lucky. Like, but what other countries don't know is nobody likes anybody in this fucking country. It's always been that fucking way. I mean,
that's
I was dropping a deuce yesterday, and I'm sitting there thinking about, I sit when I'm taking a shit because I have nothing better to do but take a shit. You know how long my shits last? They ask Heather, my shits last a long time. I get danglers, all right? So,
Let me like ask, and we didn't ask, but he told us he's got danglers. But go ahead.
so I'm sitting there thinking I am very blessed to live in an area where racism does not run rampant. Like we don't have people running around going, "You're a racist because you are this," and you're a gangbanger because you look like this. We don't have that around here.
Well, now hold on. I'm just kidding.
No, really, we don't. Heather's. When's the last time you've seen people fight that weren't drunk?
Oh, well, in that case.
People do not, like, around here where we live. I mean, yes, we talk to our neighbors next door pretty much since we gotten to know them a little bit and our daughters play together.
Yeah.
We don't go out and hang out with people because people are fucking dumb.
I try not to talk too much about like stuff that I don't know a lot about because it's just because like I have opinions about things, sure, but like that's why I only did wrestling talk, because that stuff I could confidently say I knew. That being said, just from what I've observed this country in the last 10 years, it is very interesting. And I don't know if it's because I'm now of the age of the like understanding like the wherewithal of like, oh, this is what's happening. And I just wasn't made aware of like the presence of certain things in the world or in the country, which that could be part of it. But to answer your question about like what the hell is going on with all the changes and stuff, I think it's a matter of that a lot of people in the country, the goal and the tone has changed from, if you're going to a conversation with someone, the objective of you should, in theory, be to have an open dialogue about whatever it is you want to have a conversation with, not
Right.
drill home your way of thinking to the point where it becomes a goddamn tug of war.
I mean, my problem is, and Heather wants to say something. I know she does, and it's fine. My problem is with everybody's taking what our leaders in this country say and follow it to a T. Like, you don't fit what we want, so we don't like you. That kind of shit drives me nuts because you don't know me as a person. Like, I've literally had people on Twitter tell me I'm a racist because I thought it was time for Big E to lose the title. How in the fuck am I a racist person for saying I like Big E? When he won the title, I didn't like it at first.
I mean,
but then I was like, it's okay. Let him have his time. There's nothing wrong with giving him his time. That doesn't mean he has to be. Big E, to me, is not a guy that's going to hold the title for 3.5 fucking years straight.
you remember
because
that?
He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
He won the title. It was a great moment. I popped for it to a certain extent. Well, because I kind of wanted Bobby Lashley to lose the title. It was about time for him. And all I hear is people, I want Bobby Lashley to have the title taken off of him. Oh, you're a racist. Like, how is somebody racist for making a statement about somebody? It drives me nuts.
Remember what I said about the coming to a table and discussion and having an open dialogue? Yeah, that's not a thing on the internet. Or if it is, it's very rare and far and few between. Because now people have the power of anonymity. They don't have to be held responsible for their words. They can say literally whatever they want. Obviously, other countries are in different situations, blah blah blah. But for the most part, the internet is, generally speaking, an ungoverned area where people can do quite a bit. And the anonymity part, imagine having the ability to not only say whatever you want, but to know in your heart of hearts that there is, for the most part, no ramifications for it whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a huge part of power.
You want to know how to regulate it? I can tell you. So for me, since I work for the government, if I cannot, during my time of duty, when I am working, I cannot say anything at all about any one. Like if I said something about Joe Biden, during my time on duty, I could get fired for that.
So, the other part of it too. I mean, that's a little bit different, conversation. But the other part of it is that people want to, like, and this goes back to like PC culture, right? I'm all in favor of. I'm all in favor of people being happy, healthy, and doing what they want to do and being who they want to be, whatever you are. I am totally fine with all of that. My problem is that when it gets to the point where like people are almost looking to be offended, it's almost like they're going out of their way to like pick apart what you said or did. And I want to make sure I'm clear about this too. There are obviously piece of shit people out there who are purposely like being negligent and ignorant and being fucking hateful. I'm not that dumb, but I also like there's another side of that coin where you have people who are like just like watching everything you do and everything you say with a goddamn microscope, to the point where if you do something just slightly off or an annoyance, that's where fucking Karens came from.
Exactly.
And I guess Karens is really the antithesis of that, which is like, fuck off.
Yes, no, I agree. I'm like Tim to an extent.
You are. That's what's scary.
I'll jump on Twitter and I'll go looking for people. I just wait. And sometimes people say the dumbest shit in the world.
Yep.
And then it comes back and bites them in the ass, you know. People suck. When somebody tells people on Twitter, if somebody tells you something, go ahead, respond. But when you do, or when you say something that somebody doesn't agree with, you know, I mean, Twitter does have this
power of anonymity.
Right. Where you can't, unless somebody's following you, they can't tweet you. Or they have to mention you or whatever in order for
That's
you
what I
to
did.
tweet at them. And that's fine. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to not confront it. If I get the tweet and I look at it, like Biden always says gives me these zingers. Like we were talking today, and it's about gun rights, right? Gun control, or the word of the weekend is gun control, because that's what the government wants to do. They want to control what you can and cannot do. So control is the actual word of the day here on the Horny Goat. Control. I don't want to be told that I can't fucking take a step outside of my house. Because I'm going to tell you right now, go listen to Eric Bischoff, and he talks about being in North Korea when they did that North Korea thing. If you have not watched that episode, their towns in North Korea are completely dead.
Yeah.
Like, You go and listen to his story at a certain amount of time, you'll see like kids wearing uniforms running to school, and you'll see certain people wearing certain outfits, and it's weird. If that's where you want to fucking live, give Kim Jong-un a call. I'm sure he'd be glad to fucking take you. You know, if that's where you want to live. Mom, today, I'm talking about Venezuela. And she's like, well, what's wrong with Venezuela? I'm like, Mom, it's a socialist country. It's what Bernie Sanders wants our country to be like. That is literally, Bernie Sanders literally wants your country to be Venezuela.
Right. But
you want to have control of what you can and cannot do.
Yeah. And it's the thing of like there needs to be a balance, right? And I'm not saying that like there are things that shouldn't be regulated or have limitations on. I understand that.
So we were talking today, and the thing with guns, and we were talking about this today. Don't ban the AR-15. Because an AR-15 is not an assault rifle by coming off the manufacturer's line. Can it be modified? Sure. Do you want to know how to do it the right way? How about we ban those things that can be modified to make that? Instead of banning the gun itself, you need to start really looking. People don't want to have this conversation. I don't give a fuck, and I get it. You can't say, I don't want guns in my house. Okay, well, don't. That's your right. But don't tell me I can't. It's not like I'm going to fucking run around my fucking yard naked shooting off a fucking, 9mm saying, I've got a gun, I've got a gun.
Well, now I've got that. Now I've got that image stuck in my head, so I'm gonna have fun sleeping tonight.
Guess what? You do that. Guess what? Now you shouldn't have guns because you're fucking legit, fucking batshit crazy.
See that the whole gun conversation is another one of those like. It's so there's so many factors and so many different aspects of it in terms of like it's not as clear cut as people think it is. It's clear cut in the sense of fucking mass shootings need to stop. We're all on the same page with that, clearly.
I don't really agree with that, but somebody can do a mass shooting with a fucking pistol.
Correct.
So mass shootings, give me the definition of a mass shooting. Is it more than one person? Because that'd be a mass shooting to me. Mass doesn't have a fucking number. It's just, do you get my point?
Yes.
One person is one too many. And I understand you can't stop everybody. You can't stop everybody from shooting. The thing is, you can't. Let me finish a thought because I haven't finished a sentence. I do this because I get a thought in my head and I got to jump on to the next thought or I'm going to forget it. Now I'm going to forget that thought.
Real fast. Congressional Research Service defines mass shootings as multiple firearm homicide incidents involving 4 or more victims at least 1 or more locations close to one another.
Okay. That's fine. So 4 people is only 2 more than 2 people, which is 1 more than 1 person. Do you understand my thinking here?
You're saying that like it's a matter of that specific solution of just getting rid of guns is not going to,
because the criminal's going to get a hold of a gun no matter fucking what.
Right.
If that person that wants to fucking kill 19 kids, if he doesn't have an AR-15, he's going to find another way. And if you heard anything about what was said in that, yes, this kid had how many guns? I don't know. He had 2 guns, so he had more than 1 gun, right?
Yep.
Again, a mass shooting is more than 1 gun, included in the multiple.
Take away the definition for a moment.
With that, I'm taking it away,
but my point is that obviously everyone's on the same page of this shit shouldn't happen, period. And obviously if we the concept is that we want to let me back up. In a perfect world, we would eliminate mass shootings altogether, right? In a perfect world, which is not going to be happening. So if to be realistic about it, we then have to curb that number by a dramatic amount and do something to the effect of making repeat instances that have common factors of these mass shootings, specifically in schools or the ones that get the most public attention, from happening again.
Right. No, and I get it. Mass shootings are not shootings in general aren't good.
Yeah.
Because somebody's getting shot. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm just gonna look it up.
Yeah. But
they happen all the time. We only hear about the ones that.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I just don't understand why people seem to think that arguing guns don't kill people.
Right.
People kill people.
Correct.
If we're going to start banning guns, we're going to have to start banning fucking steak knives. If you're going to eat a steak, you're going to have to pick it up and eat it because you can't use a knife anymore because that can be used as a fucking weapon also. Stop calling it a fucking gun. Gun control does not need to be managed.
Well, I think the other problem is
Dan Bongino said it best. And if you don't know who Dan Bongino is, he was former Secret Service agent who worked, I think he was under Clinton's administration or Bush's or whatever. I can't remember. I don't know, but he's one of the Fox guys.
Yep.
And him and Geraldo were on there arguing, and Geraldo was making this big claim. He says, we need to get rid of guns. Because the argument is that fucking Geraldo doesn't like guns. That's Geraldo's argument, which is his choice. He doesn't like guns. Fine. Yep. I don't give a shit. But Dan Bongino said, if we're going to take the law and we're going to say that nobody can have a gun in this fucking country, the criminals are going to be like, motherfucker, guess what? We now run this fucking country because nobody can have a gun unless it's illegally, right? Mm-hmm. This is some of these fucking retards that we have sitting in office want. They want your gun taken away because it's not a musket or a pea shooter or a one shooter or whatever you want to fucking call it. They want to take them away from you so that you can't fucking defend yourself. And when that happens, do you think the crime rate is bad now? It's going to get worse. We're not fucking England. And I hate the fucking argument when people sit here and fucking say, well, in England, we haven't had a shooting since 1984. Well, bravo fucking vote. Good for fucking you. Guess what? We are full of a country. We are full of people that don't like each other, like I said, and they're going to fucking find a way. If they want to find a way, they will find a way. And it sucks for me to say that, but I don't think any of the shootings that have happened or will happen in the future will matter whether or not there's a law saying you can or cannot have a fucking gun. They are going to continue to happen because people in this country do not give two fucking shits about another person's life. That is the honest
sadly, yeah, no, you're sadly correct.
There is no fixing this problem, even if it does get fixed by law, because the criminal does not give a shit about the laws. If they did, they wouldn't fucking do it.
Nope, you're not wrong. Yeah.
So why are we fucking arguing over an issue that will never get fixed?
Because it's that selfishness thing I was telling you about earlier.
People are going to argue about it, and you're right, but people are going to argue about it, and I just sit back and I laugh, and I say, it doesn't fucking matter who is in. We need to put Biden in for 4 more years because he's fighting guns. He's not going to do anything.
No.
The only thing he's going to do is jump on Twitter and he says, when is enough enough? Which he says every other fucking day.
Spelled ENFUFF.
Anybody that sits here and thinks that we're gonna fucking change is freaking laughable, because it's not gonna fucking happen.
No. But sorry, my little one's stirring a little bit. I think that's a good point to on a high note there, JP.
I hate going off on tangents like that, but
It's all right. You're stoned.
It's in your fucking head, and I've thought about this shit, and it's like, what do we get? There's nothing. People sit here and argue, well, we've got to make a change. Go ahead, write your congressman. I've written my congressman 4 fucking times, and I still haven't gotten a response from one that I sent in 1999. So what makes you think any of them are going to fucking ask?
Well, that's because Y2K happened, so.
People need to shut the fuck up, live their lives, put your head on a fucking swivel. I'm not saying go out and buy a fucking gun, but you should always be alert. You know, there's a saying in the Army that we used to have, stay alert, stay alive.
Yep.
Boy, is that... You know what the problem with school systems are today? Is they're so... And this is why school shootings happen all the time. It's because they're so fucking monotonous.
Sadly.
Your kid gets up, he goes to school at 8 o'clock every day. He gets done about, I don't know, 3:30, whatever. Every fucking day, he's doing the same thing, Monday through Friday. Do you think people aren't fucking watching that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Change it up. Have them not go to school one day. You know, you got to change shit up. I mean, you can't change it up too much, or else they might as well not ever fucking leave their house. But it's... We're too predictable of a society. We get in this, what's that word, complacency mode, where we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over. You get in a routine.
Yep. Yeah.
Why do you think 9/11 happened? We were monotonous. The country was in a state of, we're going to, same thing every day. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to go home, I'm going to drink a beer, I'm going to sit down in front of my TV, I'm going to watch the news, I'm going to finger bang Sally McGoo on the fucking street corner, you know.
Good old American dream.
And then 9/11 happened, and then we changed the way we did things for, I don't know, probably about...
I thought Heather was about to crack you for some reason, or like about a whip.
Again. It's a vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious fucking cycle. We're never gonna fix the gun problem. It's never going to get fixed. Would I wish, if I had a choice, I would love for the gun issue to be fixed. It's never ever going to fucking happen. So everybody just needs to move on with their lives. Stay alert.
I agree with you, Alpha, on the last comment. 100%.
You will be okay. Just, you need to make sure, and I usually do, when Wendy goes to school, I will be there that very first day, and every now and then I will pop in and I will make sure that my daughter is doing okay, because you just never fucking know.
No, I hear you.
You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again every day. It's a problem with our society.
Can't really think of a better note to end it on.
I'm sorry.
No,
Again.
it's all right. It's all good. Unless there's anything else you want to throw out there, Heather.
This whole issue is, if we try to ban guns, we're going to have the same issue England is having, where the police are even unarmed and they're getting shot at.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the funny thing when people sit here and say that, well, our country hasn't had a mass shooting. No, but you still have shootings, right?
Right.
You can ban a fucking gun just because you don't have mass shootings now doesn't mean you're going to have one soon, or something's going to happen. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, we sit here, we haven't had something like this happen since 1984. Didn't like London, something happened in London like 2011, September 11th, 2011. See, London, shut your fucking mouth. You fucking British fucking cocksuckers that say that shit can eat my fucking dick, because boom, right there. Don't tell me shit doesn't fucking happen over there like it does here. You are as hated of a fucking country as we are, so shut the fuck up.
Cheerio. So, That being said, I think we're going to wrap up on this week's edition of No Bucks Given, because now I'm starting to feel pretty loopy myself. So I don't know how much longer I'll be able to have one here. I want to thank JP and Heather, of course, as always, for joining us and engaging in the different conversations. Of course, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you to all the awesome people in the chat who have joined us here. Alpha, Jurgen Muyen, Tim, Paul Arzola, Federico. Thank you all. And I did see... I think I saw Casey is Raw a little bit earlier. So thank you all for tuning in. Do appreciate that. Again, download us on your favorite podcast platforms. We're all over the place. Anchor, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and Amazon. So check us out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tomorrow, I do believe we're going to do a makeup stream, as we might be bringing back some Horny Goat Wrestling HD dub as we continue on the road to SummerSlam. And then, of course, Monday, it's a big one. We're going to be doing the Marvel Roundtable, talking about Infinity War. And I'll tell you right now, that one is going to be a long one, because there's going to be a lot of things to talk about. So you guys that are new to the Horny Goat channel, hit that subscribe on youtube.com/hornygoat, and of course, the Horny Goat Podcast Network. You guys have a wonderful evening, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out, bitches.
See you later, fuckers.
I love your French. And your advice on women are dating.
Like I said,